I'm going to talk about handwriting difficulties of primary school-aged children. It can be very difficult to understand what is affecting a child to have handwriting difficulties. Most often it's language processing and cognitive skills that are causing the difficulties. We can say this because we know that people who have limb deficiency and conditions like cerebral palsy can handwrite neatly and effectively in line with their peers. So how do we help a child with handwriting difficulties? It's useful to identify where their handwriting is difficult to read and target specific interventions around this. For a child to change their handwriting, they must be fully engaged in this process, and often a coaching approach can be useful. Do see the online Goal Plan Do Check resource for handwriting. And we know that letter formation must be taught, and this must be in a regular and consistent way across the school, and it must be practiced on a regular and consistent basis. The National Handwriting Association has a resource looking at all the different handwriting programmes available to schools in the UK. However, even with a robust whole school approach in place, some children continue to have handwriting difficulties. So small group work may benefit these children, and we would consider 10 to 20 minutes daily for at least 12 weeks should make an impact on their handwriting. If a child has letter formation difficulty, then it needs to be retaught. Errorless learning should be considered, and immediate feedback after forming the letters is important. Try to avoid tracing and dot-to-dot exercises, as the child will not be learning the actual motor pattern for letter formation. And practicing patterns and fluency patterns can help a child develop motor control with a pencil, for example, pushing and pulling a pen across the page. Often teaching letters in their letter families is seen as useful, and starting with the easiest letters first, the up and down strokes. Remembering handwriting is so closely linked to language that expectations must be set around the child's ability to speak and read and understand language. And so developing automaticity of writing the letters of the alphabet is important, as this frees up essential work in memory to do the important tasks, that's using language and words and spelling and grammar and composition. There are some resources to try with children, or although none of these I would consider to be a quick fix. So there's various pencil grasps to help a child hold a pencil in a comfortable and effective way. However, you must ensure that the child is using the pencil grasp correctly every time. Writing slopes may be useful to support posture, but often children don't like using these as they don't want to be seen to be different. There are a range of pens and pencils to try, and each child may find their own favourite writing tool. This should be monitored to ensure it's actually helping the child to handwrite better. The angle a child holds their pen may mean they cannot use certain pens, as the ink will not flow at that angle. And some children who may have very light pencil pressure may benefit from using a very soft and dark pencil. Some children benefit from wide-barreled pens, and you can make these by buying some foam piping to make the pen larger and softer to hold. Children can often be motivated to practice handwriting by using some of the digital tools available online. I have a personal favourite which is called Touch and Write by FizzBrain, as this gives good feedback to the child when they're forming the letters. You can move a child on with these apps to holding a digital pen to mark make and lying the iPad or tablet down on the desk, as this mimics actual writing using a pen and paper. There are also the creative writing tablets that can be synced with a laptop, and this gives a good visual feedback for a child, and they can be creative when doing this. It's also a break from pen and paper practice. Sometimes children need a visual reminder like a coffee stirrer or a lolly stick to help them to remember to put a space between words, and holding your finger extended while writing is quite tiresome, which is why the lolly sticks are helpful. There are different types of paper that may help a child develop handwriting. Some have raised bumpy lines which may help a child keep their letters sitting on the line, and some are broken up so a child knows where to put the ascenders and descenders. However, for a child with visual perceptual difficulties, this can be challenging. Squared paper can be useful as it really helps a child understand some of the spatial skills around handwriting. And if you're struggling to get a child to make marks on paper, then using a large pegboard and pegs can help. There's a handwriting programme around this called Pegs to Paper, and it's available from the National Handwriting Association. I mentioned earlier about practicing handwriting, and practice can take many forms. It's worth having a think about this. For example, block practice is doing the same thing repeatedly in the same way. For a child, this may mean that they sit down at the same desk at the same time with the same writing tools and practice the same thing. This is useful, and try not to move a child along too quickly, because if they've mastered a letter formation, it's nice to have some mastery over something, and the child may just want to really show that they've achieved this and they're good at it before moving on. There's also random practice, which is probably self-explanatory, in that you do different tasks at different times with different tools in a different way, and this is useful for consolidation of skills. And when to start cursive writing is a school and individual choice. We would suggest that continuous cursive is problematic, as we do naturally write with a mixture of print and cursive, so that not all our letters are joined up. It may also help to show a child a standard of handwriting that you're expecting, so they can model this and have a visual clue. Some children may need extra scaffolding and have access to an alphabet chart to support their handwriting.